At a recent Apple keynote, Tim Cook said this:
By 2030, all Apple devices will have a net zero climate impact.
All of them?
All of them.
But there's one big problem with these claims. It's that they do not take into account the massive amount of e-waste that is produced by Apple and consumers of Apple every single year. But here's the key problem. Products like AirPods cannot be repaired. They have to be discarded when they're broken. And what does that do? It creates a massive amount of e-waste. Sure, Apple has many avenues for recycling your devices, but there's a catch. Most people don't do this. They just take a broken pair of AirPods and throw them right in the trash. And when these devices are thrown away with lithium-ion batteries, those become a huge environmental problem once they start decomposing into the surrounding environment they're thrown away in. So why hasn't Apple done something to actually make their devices last longer, rather than just start with this carbon neutral idea? And why haven't they made them more repairable? Well, it's because they don't need to. The first problem is it's very difficult for anyone to actually vet them on these claims of being carbon neutral. And it's sort of something we all have to just take at face value.
Apple has a plan and a promise to make Apple carbon neutral. Wait, no, we've already done that.
Have you though? I think a really big part of carbon neutrality that Apple is missing is that it's a lot easier for some companies that don't generate products to be genuinely carbon neutral. But when you're one of the biggest electronics manufacturers in the world, there's an inherent extreme amount of waste that comes with that. And although perhaps many Americans use the trade-in program so that they don't have old phones just laying around in their drawers, this isn't as big of a thing on the global scale, with many of them being sold in the secondary market, which in a way is upcycling, and many of them just being thrown out. And that's a huge issue. And when Apple is moving numbers like over 400 million products a year, you have to assume there's going to be metric tons of e-waste that is going to be dumped in landfills every single year. This point makes that whole carbon neutrality something that is really more of a fairy tale concept than the concrete nature that Apple is trying to promote. Yes, they are going to extreme lengths to ensure that everything they do is as environmentally friendly as possible, and that is worthy of great applause. But they are not, and never will be, a truly carbon neutral company. No company that exports goods has the ability to do that. It is fundamentally against what carbon neutrality means. Again, to look at a basic definition of carbon neutrality, goal of balancing the amount of carbon dioxide emitted versus the amount absorbed by carbon sinks like our environment in trees and other areas. Much easier to justify that having been done on the production side, but very difficult when you talk about e-waste productions. And that's something that, again, Apple conveniently always leaves out of these discussions. And it's because there's simply nothing that you can do about it. I hope you found this video interesting, and if you did, please do like and subscribe. It helps me out a ton. I look forward to seeing you all in the next one. I'll see ya.